Hi! Welcome back to our channel. Yay.
I always do that.
You do always do that.
I started doing it and I just can't not do it anymore.
Noticed that. Every time I edit it, I always know.
Yay! I can't not now. Anyways.
So today, we are going to talk about how your perfect Disney vacation,
It's not always perfect.
and it means that you're going to have to make your own magic.
But you know, that's okay. That's some of the fun.
Yeah, definitely. So let's go. Okay, so first we want to talk about things that can go wrong during your vacation. There's many.
Yeah.
There's a lot of imperfection that happens when you're trying to plan the perfect trip.
Whether it's human error or just nature.
Things that are out of your control.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that are out of your control when you're doing a Disney trip.
Which can seem stressful, but it depends on how you look at it and how you make the most of it.
Yeah, how you make your own magic out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say the biggest one in Florida that you really can't control is the weather.
Right. Yeah.
It's the rain.
Yeah.
Or the extreme heat.
That's true.
And sometimes that means that you're going to have to make some adjustments.
Like maybe staying home a little bit longer or going inside, kind of waiting it out.
Mm-hmm. One of the things, so a lot of what we're probably going to talk about is going to be a lot about unexpected things and making the most of the unexpected moments and trying to make them more magical because, I mean, basically, life is what you make it.
You can make it magical or you deal with
You're
something
miserable.
that's not fun.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So with the weather, we both have really great experiences with rain specifically.
Yes.
So we just got back from a trip, me and Ryan, and one of our things is we had a fast pass for Dinosaur in Animal Kingdom, and we were in line and it was delayed. And so we were trying to decide if we wanted to wait it out or get out of line or what we wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like from the way that they were talking that it was going to be a temporary delay. So we were like, fine, we'll wait. So it only ended up being like a 5 to 10 minute wait.
not bad at all.
It was nice. It was in air conditioning. It was fine. So we get on the ride, have a great time. We get out and we walk outside and everything is soaked. And we realized that we had completely just missed a torrential downpour. We saw people that were just soaked. And so even though it felt like, oh, our fast pass and the ride's delayed and this is so annoying, it ended up being like this really magical moment of like, hey, we missed the rain.
Yeah. And I've mentioned, sorry, I'm dying. Okay. So I have also mentioned my story where I was with my parents and what we were going to do, we had already been there for at least a full week. And so it was kind of just like, you know, whatever we wanted to do. And I was like, well, I haven't been on top of Rhode Island in a very long time. So we were going to go take the canoes and we were going to go over there. And my dad was like, there's really not much over there. Nothing that would really intrigue you. It's more of a child area or someone who just kind of wants to walk around.
Yeah.
So we ended up going to Big Thunder because the line was not long. And part of the queue is outside, but once you make it up to the top, because you kind of go up a hill, it is completely covered from that on out. They're on out. And the second we were under that cover, it started raining a little bit. We're like, oh, well, look at that. We made it just before it started raining. And a torrential downpour just wreaked havoc. The ride had to shut down because it's an outdoor roller coaster, so everyone was already stuck in the queue, and people were running for cover into our queue. But we were able to, you know, kind of have a fun time. We were bonding with people because my mom was like,
yes.
Because we didn't want to walk up where the rain was being blown in, so we just kind of stayed back and let the line kind of go. And the people behind us were like, you don't need to go, don't worry about us, we don't want to get wet either. And by the time the ride went back up, we were able to get on and it was still raining a little bit. So that was actually a really fun experience to go on Big Thunder while it's raining. So, you know, there's benefits to rain or to delays that you find in the park.
Something else that I just experienced that's weather related is right before our trip, Hurricane Durian was threatening Florida, and it was, I mean, obviously we know it didn't end up really hitting Florida right now, but as we were leading up to our trip, I was watching everything, trying to decide if we needed to adjust our vacation, if we needed to reschedule, if I needed to change our flights, what I needed to do, and we were really lucky and fortunate that it didn't hit and that we were able to go.
Oh yeah.
It all worked out perfectly, but it actually allowed us to have lower crowd levels while we were there. And so it seemed like it was something that was going to go so wrong, and I had so much stress before we left, and it ended up being like this huge, awesome thing. So,
because aside from the heat, it would have been like one of the most perfect vacations.
yeah.
So, you really just you have to make it magical or make it better. Because if you don't, then you will just be weighed down by the stress of things.
Yes, definitely. And with the heat of Florida, there's plenty of opportunities to try and take advantage of other things to get out of the heat. Like something that worked really well for us this trip was we would go to the parks in the morning, and then right around lunchtime we would either get lunch, and we usually would get lunch in the parks. And then when it was hot, we would just go home and take a nap. And then we would come back in the evening and get stuff done. And the crowd levels were low enough that we were able to do all the things that we wanted to do. And, thanks. And we were able to nap and feel better. And actually it was a relaxing vacation, which I've never described a Disney vacation as relaxing, but this time, because we weren't adjusted to the heat and we had to adjust for the heat, it ended up being really awesome. Yeah.
So another thing that maybe might not go according to plan, or something that you might find helpful, is sometimes cast members don't know everything. They are human, there is a lot of them, and Disney is always changing. So you could ask the cast members like where something is, or if there's a certain food or something out, and they might tell you one thing and it might be incorrect, or they might just not know. And that can be frustrating, but they are also humans and they're trying to help all the people who are in Disney vacationing there. So
if you find that a cast member gives you like an answer, or they just don't seem totally sure, it's totally fine to go ask another cast member. We were trying to find a specific photo pass when we were in Star Wars Land, and we asked a cast member and they were like, I think it's right around this corner. I don't know if it's running, but if it is, it's gonna be in this general area. So we basically had to go from this cast member down and around the corner, and then we found another cast member who was like, oh, I know the other one of them that we were looking for isn't running today, but the other one is, and it should be, you'll see a guy standing there with like a tablet. So if you go over in this area and find him. So then we went over and we ended up finding him. So it almost felt like a little trail, but it was like, they were all trying to be as helpful as they could. And so ultimately we got what we needed help with.
Yeah.
So.
And along the lines with cast members, they help you with your reservations. And if you are late for your reservation, if you're just like a couple minutes late, you don't need to worry about them giving it away, not including it. Like you can have up to like 20 minutes.
That's not a like for sure,
no,
but most places they're very understanding.
Yeah.
They understand that you might be late, or the buses might be late, or they understand that things happen.
Yeah. So if you're already being stressed, don't worry, just explain what happened, and they're usually entirely accommodating. As the same goes for fast passes.
Yes. So that's another thing that can go wrong, is transportation can take a long time.
Yes.
Things can be obviously it's great services, but sometimes your bus might take longer because sometimes they end up getting clumped together, or
there's construction all the time.
Yes.
So they'll have to find detours.
Or maybe you're in rush hour, so there's big lines to get on to whatever you're trying to get onto. It happens. I actually saw a really sweet family making the most of it while we were waiting. It was on the buses, and they had finally sat down on a bus, and the dad started playing these songs for the kid. And he just started singing it, and he was having a good time, and everybody around was enjoying it. It's really important to remember, you're on vacation, and if you're going with kids, your kids are on vacation, and it's just these little things can make.
Yeah, and if it's something that is more universally like problematic, like it includes other people like buses, a lot of times they're feeling the exact same way as you are, and little things like that can make someone happy. If you allow that to like infiltrate your stress,
yes,
it can become like a fun little highlight.
Yeah, definitely.
Because when we were younger, went on a trip, and we were stressed. We were at Epcot, and then we were we were on the tram back, and there was this little girl with this fantastic accent, and her parents.
She was a little British girl.
Yeah, they were talking about mosquito, and she just, with so much pleasure, goes, "Those were not mosquitoes!" And we still remember that. Yeah, like it's just fun little things that you wouldn't think of. You have to make that special.
And like appreciate the moment. And sometimes it's just like letting go of trying to control all of your vacation and just going, we're at Disney World. A bad day at Disney World is going to be way better than a good day, somewhere else.
You're at the most magical or happiest place on
Earth. Where you're going. Yes.
Disneyland, Disney World.
Yeah.
But you can make your trip very magical despite things going wrong all the time. You just kind of gotta take it as it goes. Yeah. As they say in the Finding Nemo musical, go with the flow.
So those are kind of just an overview of things that have gone wrong and how we've handled them and how you can make them more positive. Yeah. Just some tips that I have for finding extra magic in your vacation. So there's so many little magical things that happen at Disney all the time. And it's just, you have to be of the mindset of like, oh, this is amazing, and like recognizing those little magical moments. So like on our trip, we were eating dinner at the plaza. We had just finished, we walked outside, and there was a parade going on. And I walked right up to the front row of a parade that was just going past. And it was like, that's so amazing. Like the timing of it, like it was really magical. And then Max from Goofy's kid, Max, he like pointed at me and waved, and like it's just like little things like that you just have to like let it get to you. Yeah. Because like that things like that will probably happen at Disney, but as long as you make sure to remember it and make it a very happy moment, it can change your outlook on your trip. Oh yeah, definitely. And along the lines of making magical moments, I Disney bounded one trip as Mr. Sneak. And I was like Chef Mickey's, and the characters were coming around, and they were like all kind of pretty close because they had just come out from some break time in the kitchen. And Mickey came up, and he saw I had the Aztec gold pirate medallion from Pirates of the Caribbean. And Mickey was like, "Oh, you're a pirate. Stay away." And like we had this huge interaction. Like he ran away from me, and the cast member had to go chase it, and he was like, "No." And it was just so much fun. And then Donald came over because Mickey was still with me, and he like hid behind Donald and shoved him at me, and it was just like such a fun experience to have with the characters. Like for no other reason than I was just like a pirate. Yeah. Definitely. It's just making the most of little things like that, and then like become highlights of your trip. Oh yeah. Which I think is a really cool thing about Disney. It's those little magical moments. Or something else that's very small, pennies. The pressed pennies. They're so much fun. I love them. I do too. So like just little things like that. They're like small memories, and you get to look through them and remember where you got them. And it's just fun. Yeah. Especially if you are stressed or you're tired or maybe there's not much to do, it's raining, you're inside. They have pressed pennies everywhere. So that's something you can do and make a memory. Yeah, definitely. Okay, another thing that you can do is to make magic for other people. Yes. Which is really fun. One of the things I wanted to do on this trip, but I didn't end up being able to do, is I wanted to bring glow sticks to the Halloween party and hand them out to kids around me. I didn't end up getting to do it, but it's things like that, or like sometimes kids will blow bubbles for other kids, and like when an adult interacts with something in like a more childish manner for a kid, they get so excited. That's true. So yeah, don't forget that you can make magic for other people as well.
Especially if you see an adult or a child dressed up, like complimenting them. Like if you talk to a kid who's dressed up like a princess and you say, "Oh my gosh, it's so nice! It's so nice to meet you." Yeah. Yeah, like, it's so nice to meet you, Your Royal Highness. Like I've done that once with a child, and she lost it. She said, "She thought I was a princess."
Oh, that's so cute.
It's fun. So
another thing too that I found is sometimes you'll see people trying to like take pictures or take pictures of each other. Ryan and I would go up to people and say like, "Hey, can we take a picture of all of you?" And that like, some people were so grateful. It blew my mind, but it was like, it's so easy. We're just walking this way, like it's 2 seconds. So not only can you make magic for yourself, but you can also make magic for other guests that are enjoying their times at the park.
And that honestly sometimes is even more fun because you could think that like, oh yeah, what if we helped all these other people that day, and you don't have any evidence of that, but still, it's nice.
It's fun.
So that's kind of a little bit of how you can make an imperfect trip a little bit more magical.
And truthfully, I think it's the imperfections of your trip that make it more memorable and so much more fun.
Yeah, because when things are unexpected, you tend to remember them more anyways.
It's true. So we would love to know what you guys do to make your trips more magical, or if you guys have had any experiences of where something went wrong and then you ended up making the most of it and it ended up being really magical.
Oh yeah.
We love hearing about stuff like that.
It's just it's good for the soul.
It is. So let us know down in the comments.
Or any questions you have.
Yeah, of course. We're always willing to answer questions.
Remember to subscribe and hit the bell notification.
Yeah, we have lots of fun content coming up. We are a big fan of Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas and fall and winter, and so we are very excited about all the things that are coming up. So make sure to subscribe so you know when those videos are coming. Okay, so we will see you guys next week. Bye! Halloween princess!
Shake it. What is that? Move it, shake it, not shake it, move it!
To talk about things that can go that can go wrong. There's a lot.
There's a lot of things. That was a kick.
Make memories.
More the magic? That made no sense, but we're just gonna go with it.
Sweeter than taste.
What? Softer than berries, sweeter than taste. And until next time,
see you real soon.